Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Waller's Wallet, and today we're going to be taking a look at ways to pay your rent with a credit card. And this can be a great way to meet minimum spend requirements or even earn points or cash back for just paying your rent. Before we jump in and take a look at the options, first we should talk about cash advance fees. So to help reduce any cash advance fees you may encounter, not only with the options we'll discuss, but also anywhere else in this game, it's usually best to set your cash advance fee to $0 or as low as you can possibly set it with that bank. This way, you won't pay your rent thinking you earn a boatload of points only to have it code as a cash advance fee. Not only would you not earn any points and miles for that transaction, but you also would pay a larger fee for your credit card company to process that as a cash advance fee. Now let's take a look at our options, starting off with plastic. And plastic might be the option most people talk about to pay a lot of different bills, including paying your rent. And when you pay your rent using plastic, it does come with a 2.5% fee when you use your credit card, making it really not a great option for most people unless you're meeting a minimum spend requirement. Or we'll say if you're using a card like the American Express Blue Business Plus, where you'd earn 2 membership reward points per dollar. But you would need to value your membership reward points above 1.25 cents per point in order to come out ahead on paying that fee. And other cards that may be handy are cards like the Chase Freedom Unlimited. For year one, you're going to earn 3 ultimate reward points for up to the first $20,000 you spend. Or even the Discover It Miles card, where you'll earn 1.5 miles per dollar, and then Discover is going to double that in year one, really making it a 3% cash back card. And if you're sending a check to your landlord, remember this can take up to 8 business days for them to receive that check. So you definitely don't want to wait until the last minute to process your payment through plastic. But if you wanted to process it as a wire transfer, it can take 1 to 3 business days, plus this usually comes with an additional cost as well. Next, we're going to take a look at Urbaner. I'm going to go with Urbaner. I'm not sure how it's pronounced though. But this might just be the best option on this list. And that's because Urbaner charges just 1.5% to use your credit card to pay your rent. It can actually be done one of 3 ways. The landlord can choose to pay a 1.5% fee. Good luck with that one. You can choose to split it down the middle. Again, good luck. Or the most likely option, you're going to pay the 1.5% fee on the credit card, which could still be a good option for you. But even in the event that you pay the 1.5%, you even come out ahead with just a 2% cashback credit card. And you can use cards like Visa, MasterCard, and Discover to pay your rent. So no American Express here. Plus, you can split your rent on up to 3 different credit cards, which is great if you're trying to meet multiple minimum spend requirements. And once you pay your rent, it can take between 3 to 5 business days for your rent to reach your landlord. And frankly, I have no idea how this company is making any money here. Because while other companies charge you 2.5% or 3% for those credit card fees, Urbaner only charges you 1.5%. Which to me, if I was paying rent, I would be looking at every way possible to have my landlord use this option. Next, we're going to take a look at Radpad. And Radpad has actually been around for a few years now. And you can pay your rent with a credit card for a 2.99% fee, which is very high. But if you're working on a sign-up bonus, this may actually work out in your favor. And there's even a credit card where you could come out ahead. And Radpad works by sending your landlord a check, and your landlord doesn't even need to sign up for Radpad. Which is great since your landlord might not be willing to sign up for something just so you can earn rewards. Now you're allowed to pay your rent with a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover card, and even Apple Pay. Now Radpad even has rent assurance, so if you're late on your payment, they'll cover up to $50 in late fee for your late payment. Now while the 2.99% fee is extremely high, one interesting payment option is Apple Pay. Now if you were to have the US Bank Altitude Reserve, then you're going to earn 3 points per dollar or 4.5% back on your airfare when you pay your rent through Apple Pay, meaning you're going to come out ahead by 1.5%, which I think is actually pretty good here. But I think outside of the Altitude Reserve and the Apple Pay option here, I think this option is just too pricey for you to use. Now let's take a look at Rent Moolah. Moolah not only allows you to pay your rent with a credit card, but it also offers Moolah perks, which you can get discount at places like Starbucks, Booking.com, Uber, and so many other places as well. Now, in order to use Moolah, your landlord does need to sign up for the service, and that could be a limiting factor for you. And Moolah does charge a 2.99% fee to use a credit card as payment. Now, you can use a Visa and MasterCard, and only certain property managers can accept American Express. Now, it can take up to 3 business days for your payment to reach your landlord if you chose to pay by credit card. Now, while Moolah might have some extra perks for using their service, I would really have a hard time recommending you pay just about a 3% fee to pay your rent. You would really have to be getting some great value from your rewards in order to justify those costs. Now, let's take a look at PlacePay. And this actually used to be called RentShare, but they changed their name to PlacePay. And when you use PlacePay, you can pay your rent with a credit card for a 2.99% fee. And your landlord does need to register with PlacePay in order for you to use the service. Now, while they say your landlord can choose to cover this cost, I think you have a better option of Delta bringing back an award chart. And you're able to pay your rent with a Visa, MasterCard, Discover card, and even an American Express card. And PlacePay also mentions that all payments will go through as purchases and not cash advance fees. But even with their guarantee, I would still lower your cash advance limits to 0 or the lowest possible option. And when you make a payment through PlacePay, it's going to take 3 to 4 business days for your landlord to receive payment. And with PlacePay, you can actually split your rent with your roommates so you can all pay your share. You can set reminders to pay your rent, and you can even remind your roommates if they haven't paid their rent yet. Now, let's take a look at Venmo. And I think everyone has heard of Venmo. And if your landlord has a Venmo account, well, you can just select them as a payee and pay your rent. And now, one benefit of using Venmo is that when you make your payment, Venmo processes it pretty much instantly. And with Venmo, you can use a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or even Discover card. But if you choose to pay your rent with a credit card through Venmo, then you're going to be paying a 3% fee, which is really high. But if you realize you didn't use any of the other options on this list and you're working towards a minimum spend requirement, then I guess it could come in handy. And when looking at the options to pay your rent with a credit card, I would really not recommend using any service that charges you a 3% fee to use your credit card. That is just way too high, especially when you have options that will charge you a lower fee. The exception might be to use the Altitude Reserve through Apple Pay when paying on Radpad, because earning 1.5% is actually a pretty good return. But outside of that, Plastic and Urbaner allow you to pay less fees than the others on this list. So tell me, have you used any of these options before? And if so, how was your experience? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Or if you know somebody who might benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. And if you want to help support the channel, a simple way would be use the links on our website or in the descriptions below. And if you like learning about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, or just flat out traveling for less, consider the subscribe button down below. And until next time, safe travels and take care.